Should the news media take the blame for creating now legitimate presidential candidate Donald Trump? Suppose that Trump had been ignored by the press as just an entertainer businessman when he first announced. Had this happened, would Trump now be on the cusp to preparing to accept the Republican nomination for President of the United States? Did the media create Trump? Is this the question of whether the tail wags the dog or the dog wags the tail? We suspect that the candidacy of Donald Trump, a well-known and wildly successful businessman, as well as the star of a hugely popular reality show, was so unexpected that everyone in the media just considered him a novelty candidate that was always good for an interesting and usually outrageous tagline on a slow news day. We suspect that the press expected Trump to disappear in a month or so as things heated up, along with many of the other 16 candidates for the Republican nomination for the presidency. Little did they know that the attention that they gave to his words would soon catch the imagination of tens of millions of Americans who were yearning for someone that didn't always read to them from a prepared speech. Finally, the largely middle-class public saw and heard someone that would shoot from the hip with those things that many of them had been thinking for some time, but were afraid to actually say. They overlooked the fact that he was really not like them, judging him only by his words and becoming hypnotized by his rhetoric that specifically directed itself at their fears of a nation that they no longer understood and a sinking economic life that they felt powerless to control. Once Trump's followers had begun to follow him by the millions, the political and working press had no choice other than to join in the parade or be left behind themselves. Anyway, that is why we and other media just can't help but respect the new mantra of all things Trump. Otherwise, we might miss something. I'm Homer Scarborough for Georgia News Online.